Hello guys. It's risky again. I just got out of the shower, so like my hair like not looking that good. So enjoy my voice again, you feel me? Here. But this video, please don't show this to your Giants fans. I'm a Giants fan too, so before anyone comes at me, something needs to get off my chest. I've been thinking about this for weeks, months now, to be honest. And it needs to be said. Saquon Barkley has not shown anything to be called generational. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Saquon Barkley has not shown anything yet. You guys hear that? Has not shown anything yet to be called generational. I'm not saying that he can't be generational. He has all the talent in the world. I think he's one of the most talented running backs, if not the most talented running back in the league. But here's another thing Giants fans are not gonna like. What should I say it? Man, Saquon Barkley was a bad pick. Before any of y'all get mad, it's about positional value too with the pick. I taking Sam Darnold with that pick would have been a better pick than taking Saquon at that pick. And I already know people are gonna be like, "Well, Sam Darnold's a bad player. Sam Darnold's not even on his team anymore." Okay, but you guys aren't understanding it. Taking a running back at two, it doesn't matter who the running back is. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to get into the reason why, but taking a running back at two is a bad pick no matter what you guys think, no matter who the running back is. In the modern day NFL era, you don't win Super Bowls with great running backs. You don't draft a running back highly in hopes, oh yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl with him. No, especially when you are a team high in the draft where you have other needs across your team, like the Giants did at that time. Giants could have won with Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson. Literally, even if the pick was a bad pick, it still would have been more better than having Saquon. But let me just get into. This might be like a two-part video. I'm not sure, but basically, this video is he wasn't worth number two, and he hasn't shown anything yet to be generational. And we're gonna go through why before y'all get mad. Okay, so 2018, I'm not going to lie. Saquon had a great season 2018. First team All Pro, made the Pro Bowl, put up 1,300 yards with 11 touchdowns, averaged 5 per carry. Great receiver, too, called 91 catches for 700 yards for 4 touchdowns. Good catch percentage, too. Put up 2,028 yards scrimmage. That's not what I'm talking about. That was a great season. Great season. I'm not going to lie. That's a great season. That's not a generational season, to be honest. I'm sorry, but we're using the term generational way too much nowadays. Every single draft for the past few years, I remember, we use that term. We use that term. You guys don't believe me? Let's talk about who was it? 2021, Trevor Lawrence. 2020, who do we talk about that with? I feel like people talked about 2020 with Chase Young, which I'm not saying these guys can't be generational talents. I'm just saying like I feel like we should see before we could tell. 2021 or no, 2020 was also Isaiah Simmons too. Remember Isaiah Simmons, the guy who was able to play linebacker safety? Who I loved Isaiah Simmons, but we need to calm down on these guys. Yeah, Saquon played great in college, great rookie year, as you guys can see right here. But let's also look at 2018 as a year for running backs in general. As we are here, he did not have the best year as a running back, in my opinion, this year. Yards, he didn't get it. Of course, Zeke did have more attempts. He did have a good amount of touchdowns, but so did Todd Gurley. More 20, more year. Like, the thing about Saquon is he had a great season. I'm actually looking at the stats now. I'm gonna be honest. He was the best running back this year. I'm not gonna lie, but I would not. I would not say that this was a generational year because we've seen running backs have the same amount of yards. We've seen running backs rush for five yards per attempt. The biggest thing was his receiving. He did great in the receiving and rushing game. This was a great season. I would not personally call it a generational season. But let's go down to number two. Let's go to his sophomore year. You know, people love to bring in sophomore year and all that. He did not have that good of a season. And People were gonna say it was injury, which yeah, he did have an injury. It was ankle sprain, which I think he was out for 2 to 3 weeks. But let's look at the game log for that season. Now, as we're looking at the game log, he had a really good game versus Dallas, good game versus the Bills. But here's what I'm trying to say. Look at these two games. Did we win either of these games? Thank you. Let's look at Tampa. This was Daniel Jones' first game. We won this game. We won when he played bad, and this is the game he was hurt and he left. We won the same games when he wasn't playing than we did the whole entire season with him playing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna count the Tampa game because he didn't really play this game. Like, look, he hurt the team more than helped, to be honest. Solid receiving numbers, but nothing much. Then we went to Washington next week when he didn't play. Then we won. He came back. Not bad game. Not so great. Not a great game versus Dallas. Terrible game versus the Jets. I was there, and that game I'm not gonna put that on him. If you watch the game, we kept calling halfback dive, and our interior line was terrible. Chicago wasn't that great of a game. Green Bay, a solid game, but nothing great. Better in the receiving game because that was a very snowy game, and we just had to get the ball off. Not that good of a game. Miami, solid game. Washington, great game. I'm not gonna lie, this was a great game. And then versus Philly, which you look at this number 92 and you're like, wow, that's very good. But he did also have a very, where can I see the long? I guess I can't see it, but he also had like a 50, 60-yard touchdown. I think it actually could have been higher, to be honest. Then to start off the year, I'm not going to put the Pittsburgh game on him. He, if you guys watch that game, he played terrible. Terrible. And it wasn't because of him, it was because our offensive line played bad. But this season, I would not say this was any great type of season. And this is a part of the generational talent, and this was something else about how that was a waste of a pick at too. Because he didn't win us any of these games. We went on a, let's see, with him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-game losing streak with him. We won as many games without him that we did with him. Just saying. This season, he didn't play, so of course he was hurt. But let's look at our first season too. Let's look at his first season, which I said a great season. I said that I own up to that. He had a great season, but he didn't have consistently great games. He went on a little stretch, but first game was very solid. Then week 2 he didn't really do much. Solid game versus Houston in week 3. Solid game in New Orleans. Didn't get the ball that much. Not that good in Carolina, but had 2 receiving touchdowns to make up for it. Really good game in Philly, even though again, look, he had a really good game and we lost. And it wasn't even a close game, so you can't even blame the defense. He had a really good game and he didn't really do much for us on offense. As you see, only scoring 13 points. Didn't do that good against Atlanta. Didn't do that good versus Washington. San Francisco did not went on a low game, and then this is where I started picking up. We actually did start picking up wins when he was playing. I'm not gonna lie, I will admit, but this is also when our defense started picking up. If you guys want me to go through the defensive ratings too, because I will. Tampa game, our defense almost gave up this game. I'm not gonna lie, he had a really great game. I can't lie. Philly game, we lost. He had a really great game. Chicago, we won. That game, I think it went into overtime, I want to say, or we just won barely, which he had a solid game. Washington was a blowout. I remember our defense played great. Then we played Tennessee next week. We got shut out. Saquon did not have a good game. Then we played Indianapolis. He did not have a great game. And then we played Dallas, which he had a pretty good game, but again, we lost. So, actually, this is another thing I want to show. Let's look at what was the Giants' record? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins. Next year we had 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we had 4. 5 to 4. He has 9 wins as a New York Giant. Of course, there is more to this. I am just saying this, but 9 wins as a New York Giant. Second year, his numbers did go down, also because of injury, also because the Giants didn't want to use him that much. This is his year, because where I want to see what he could do. And the reason why I think this is a bad pick, because as long as we have our general manager, David Gettleman, he is going to be re-signed, which I feel like we should know by now. Re-signing running backs is not a smart thing. He is going to want to get paid, Saquon, and that's not going to be good for the team. As for one, the next year or two, the Giants do not have good money in cap. We're gonna give at least $10 million to Saquon. At least, I'm gonna say at least 12 in my opinion. I'm just going low balling here. It's probably gonna be at least 440 or 550, like 5 years, 50 mil. Which I'm telling you guys right now, it's gonna get a setback. It's gonna be a setback for the Giants. I mean, I think I see him having another injury. Not knock on wood right now that he doesn't, but I'm just saying he hasn't proved he hasn't proved anything to be generational yet. I'm still willing to give him hope. I just haven't seen anything generational out of him yet. I still think it was a bad pick. I think going with, like I said, I think going with a quarterback like Sam Darnold at 2 would have been a better pick because that was a quarterback who failed, which we've seen many times in the league. Taking a running back as an early pick, come on. And the fun thing I do want to show is 2018, they did actually have a solid running offensive line. As you guys can see here, ranked 21 in the league. Which actually, it's not solid. It is below average, but it isn't terrible. You guys feel me? But then in 2019, the Giants' offensive line went from 21 to 17, which is right below average in the league. Average in the league is 16, right below average at 17. And his numbers weren't as good, which I'm just telling you guys this right now. He barely got 1,000 yards. It was because of that one big run versus Philly. And and the other part is he just didn't perform that well. How many games did he miss? Let's look how many games he missed in his second year. Missed 3, and he was off by like 300 yards. I do not think he would have got 100 yards per game or added up to 300 yards. So the blocking was better. So I think we have to keep that in mind. So I'm here to say it right now, guys. I think it was a bad pick. Which I am gonna make a video about that soon about the Giants and how they made terrible picks throughout the years and how their general manager still has a job. And he should not get a contract extension. I love Saquon Barkley too. Y'all are gonna think I'm a hater on Saquon. I love Saquon, but I also love my team too. I love my team. I don't want us to sign a running back and that we're gonna pay a lot of money, and then we might have to sit out some games because we're like, listen, we don't want him to get hurt. No, I don't want to see that. I'm just saying the Saquon story is not going to be good. Well, because we're either going to let him go, which is going to be bad, or we're just going to sign him and give him what money he wants to make our general manager look good. So that's the video. If you guys think I'm wrong, if you guys want to critique on anything, let me know. And that is it. Please like and subscribe, and see ya.